So the first thing we're going to talk about is the non-living thing of a rumor. Okay, how does a rumor grow? If you look at it from the math of it, how does it spread? Okay, it starts with, usually one person, and then it starts to trickle and spread out among a community. All right, so that's our first example, is how things grow. The spread of a rumor. All right, so what you're going to be given is you're going to be given an equation which describes the spread of a rumor. So here's your equation. R equals 1,200 divided by 1 plus 49 e to the negative 0.9 t. So t stands for the time. And the time is going to be measured in days. So that's the equation which models the spread of this rumor. I can slide this over a little bit. There we go. We can answer a couple questions about how this rumor grows. Okay, how this rumor spreads. So question A. How many people started the rumor? Was it just one? Was it a group of people that got together and decided to spread something? So how many people started the rumor? Any ideas about how you would go about mathematically figuring out the answer to that question? Well, let me ask you this. When did the rumor start? On what day? Okay, we say it started on day 0. Okay, it started at the beginning. Okay, and then we'll figure out what happened on day 1 and what happened on day 2 and what happened on day 3. But we need to know what happened on day 0. So that's how you answer this question. How many people started the rumor? We're going to go for day 0. So we're going to plug in t equals 0. And you're going to plug that right into your equation. Okay, well, let's figure out what happens then. So R equals 1,200 over 1 plus 49 e to the negative 0.9, and I'm plugging 0 in right there. I don't need a big calculator to figure that out. It looks like it's an intimidating question, but I don't. What's 0 times 0.9? Still 0. So that's 1,200 over 1 plus 49 times e to the just 0. And what is e to the 0? Or anything to the 0 for that matter? It's 1. Anything to the 0 is not 0, but anything to the 0 is 1. So this becomes 1,200 over 1 plus 49 because e to the 0 is 1. And we can do 1 plus 49. Okay, 1,200 divided by 50. We can reduce the 0 because they both end in 0. So that gives me 120 over 5. And does anybody know what 120 divided by 5 is? 24. So 24 people started the rumor. So perhaps something happened in biology and there's 24 people in there. And from that biology period, the bell rings and those 24 people all leave. And boom, they all spread the rumor to everybody that they're going to talk to. Did you hear what happened in biology? Boom, rumor started. Okay, it could be true, could be not. Could be real news or fake news, but that's how many people started this particular one. So if you want to figure out what happened at the beginning, you plug in 0. Okay, question B. How long will it take for 1,000 people to hear the rumor? All right, well, this is another plug-in situation. Where are we going to plug in the number 1,000? Okay, in for the R. It's going to equal 1,000. Okay, we're going to plug in R equals 1,000. And we're trying to figure out what T is. So this will be 1,000 equals 1,200 over 1 plus 49 e to the negative 0.9t. And again, that looks like it might be a crazy hard problem to solve, but it's really not. How can I make that problem a lot easier for myself? We saw this yesterday. Yeah, drop a 1 under the 1,000 and then cross multiply. When I cross multiply, what do I have to do with the 100 or with the 1,000? I have to distribute it to the 1 first, and then what do I also have to distribute it to? The 49. So when I distribute, 1,000 to 1 is 1,000. 1,000 to 49 is 49,000. E to the negative 0.9t, and the cross multiply the other way is 1,200. All right, what do I do to both sides? I'm just now trying to solve this number for t, trying to figure it out. So what should I do next? Okay, subtract 1,000. So that leaves me with 49,000 e to the 0.9t equals only 200. Then what do I do? Can't natural log quite yet because there's a lead coefficient. Can't natural log with a lead coefficient. Okay, I need to divide by 49,000. So e to the negative 0.9t is 200 divided by 49,000. And I can reduce that again because they both have a lot of zeros. So I can reduce 2 zeros in both. That's going to leave me with 2 over 490. I can reduce that also because 2 does go into 490. So that would be 1 over 245. So I now have e to the negative 0.9t equals 1 over 245. All right, now Austin, you're on the right track. I'm still trying to get t by itself, so what do I get rid of next? Now I do the natural log, so I want to get rid of the e. So I'm going to natural log around the e to the negative 0.9t, and I'm going to natural log around the 1 over 245. I can pull the negative 0.9t to the front, leaving me with ln. There's nothing I can pull to the front. Well, yeah, I could. It's 245 to the negative first, but we'll just leave it. Okay, we know that ln, our good friend Lenny, is 1. So that leaves me with negative 0.9t equals natural log of 1 over 245. And I only have to do one more thing to get t by itself. And what's that? Divide by what number? Okay, so t is going to be the natural log of 1 over 245 divided by negative 0.9. Could someone type that into their calculator for me if you have that handy on your desk? And this is going to tell me how long it took the rumor to spread to 1,000 people. From the 24 people it started with, how long did it take to spread? Todd, are you on it? 6.1. Okay, so 6.1 what? T is always measured in days. Okay, 6.1 days. So it took 6 days for this rumor to reach 1,000 people. So if you were at a school maybe a little bit bigger than Valley that had about 1,000 students or so, okay, the rumor spreads from one class, 24 students, and it would take about 6 days before, like the whole school would know. All right, the last question you might get, you could do that with any number. How long would it take for 500 people to know? How long would it take for, all right, last question C. Will it ever spread to 5,000 people? Okay. All right, the answer to this question is a yes or no question. And you're going to look back at the beginning, and the way you're going to answer this is to look at the original equation. This number on the top right here always represents the maximum of how far it will get. Whether you're growing, it's like bunny rabbits or whatever. We're talking about a rumor. It could be a virus. It could be something. But that top number always represents the max. Because eventually the rumor will die out and people won't be interested anymore and it'll get replaced by something new. And so the answer to this question, will it ever get to 5,000 people? The answer is no. The max capacity for that rumor is only 1,200. Okay, it will always be that top number when you're given a growth equation like that. Okay, so your homework tonight or over the weekend is going to be dealing with questions of growth like this. There's only 5 of them. There's not very many. But each question has a part A and a B and a C. How many did it start with? And when will it get here? And will it ever get to this number?